right, welcome, welcome. So this is a really nice sequence to do before bed, or just if you're feeling kind of run down or kind of low energy. It's a nice way to practice at the wall. So all you need is a wall here. I'm going to use my bolster in the beginning. You don't have to. You could use a pillow or a folded blanket, folded bath towel, or nothing at all. It's really up to you. So we're going to start with our legs up the wall. So when I do this, I scooch all the way up to the wall. So I come sideways, I'm sitting on my pad if you're using a pad, and then I'm just going to rotate my legs to face the wall and come to lie down. Okay, so you can just kind of adjust yourself so that your hips feel supported and the legs get supported up the wall. And this should feel really good, so take your time to set yourself up so that you can really settle in. Okay, so in this practice, we're going to be doing more of a yin practice here, a more supported practice. And we're going to stay in each posture for a couple of minutes. So really take the time to settle yourself in. So allow your head to be heavy. Maybe wiggle your shoulders away from your ears so that your neck feels like it's extended. Shoulders rest on the ground. Arms release alongside your body. Back of the hands resting on the ground. Feel where your lower back connects with the ground. Feel the heels resting on the wall. So we're going to be here about another minute, maybe a little bit longer. And just feel where your body is supported. So the ground and the wall are supporting the weight of your body. So if there's any part of your body where you're gripping or holding on to tension, see if you can bring your attention to those areas and consciously soften them. Bring your attention to your breath. And see if you can watch your breath. Allow the breath to be slow and even. Let's take just about 5 more slow, deep breaths.
here, slowly just let your knees bend and let your heels slide down the wall. Just allow the knees to bend, maybe even feeling the thighs press into the lower belly. Just taking these transitions really slowly. Okay, so the transition between our postures is just as important as the postures themselves. So I'm going to briefly release my legs and just press them into the wall so that I can lift my hips up. And I'm just going to remove my bolster now. Place it to the side. And then from here, you may want to scooch back away from the wall just a little bit. Okay, so the soles of the feet are against the wall. And my knees are bent at like a 90-degree angle here. Okay, from here, I'm just going to move into a spinal twist. So I'm just going to walk my feet, keeping them at that angle all the way down to the baseboard. My knees are stacked, my arms are open like a T. Okay, just a simple spinal twist. So if you feel like you need a little bit of padding, a little lift under your knees, you can always stick a block or a blanket here, or maybe a block or a blanket between the legs might feel good as well. Okay, we've got almost 2 minutes left here. Just breathing in this gentle spinal twist. So the arms could be out like a T. Maybe cactus arms feels better. Maybe a diamond shape up over your head. So you decide. Finding your breath. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. Maybe bringing to mind that with each exhale, could you let go a little bit more? Could you soften the shoulders, allowing the chest to broaden? Could you let the head get heavier, releasing the neck? So this practice is intended to bring ease into the body. It should be settling. Okay, it's not intended to be hard. Okay, not hard and physical. But yeah, sometimes it can be hard to be still. We're just going to practice that. 3 more breaths here. From here, bring the feet back through center. And just take a moment to land in neutral before we do the other side. So maybe this feels really good. Maybe this feels like a good neutral spot. For some of you, maybe even soles of the feet together, knees open. So we're just going to be here about 30 seconds. Just finding that place that feels like neutral, like coming back to center before we move into our spinal twist on the other side. Bring our feet back to the wall, knees bent. And from here, we're just gonna walk our feet down to the left, bringing my feet all the way down to the baseboard. My knees are stacked, chest is open. Okay, again, if your knees don't land easily on the floor or comfortably, place a block or a blanket or a pillow underneath your knees so that they're lifted. Or maybe place it between the knees, okay? Even a hand there, a fist. So just getting creative with how you can make your practice work for you. Settle in, we've got just about a minute and a half here. See if you can let go of the idea that you need to do anything. Just give yourself permission to be still, to just breathe and pay attention to your breathing. Take just a few more breaths here. And start to walk your feet back up through center. Take a moment to bring yourself back to neutral. So maybe rocking a little bit side to side, circling the knees. Again, maybe it's extending the legs. Just give yourself a few more breaths here, allowing yourself to land back to your center. Okay. Bend the knees again, soles of the feet to the wall. And from here, we're gonna cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. So coming into figure four, you're gonna know right away if you need to move further away from the wall. If it was really hard to cross your ankle, you probably need to move further away from the wall. Okay, if you can cross your ankle easily and you don't feel any sensation and you want to feel some sensation, you can consider kind of wedging. So watch, I'm leaning my hips to the left. I'm wedging my right elbow next to my right hip. And then I'm going to put my right hand on my right thigh. And then I'm going to bring my hips back to center. Now my right hand is like a little kickstand. It's helping to open up my right hip. Okay, if you can't figure that out, it's not a big deal. You can also just gently press your right knee toward the wall. Another way to deepen the stretch, if you feel like you need to, is to push the ball of your left foot into the wall and let your heel lift off the wall. So what that is doing is it's just bringing the left knee closer to my chest, okay? And that's going to deepen the stretch. So pick a place where you can land comfortably. And again, remind yourself that the yin practice is really about finding that middle ground. Okay, so it's finding that place that's just right. So we're sitting with sensation. It's not so intense that I feel like I need to grind my teeth or squint my eyes. Okay, but it's just enough. I'm working with a little bit of discomfort. And I'm practicing using my breath to soothe myself, to calm my nervous system, to allow myself to move through this mildly uncomfortable situation with some ease. Let's take just about 5 more breaths here. And now from here, we're going to keep the shape of the legs. And I'm just going to start to toe heel my left foot all the way down to the baseboard. So my hips are just rocking to the left all the way until my left leg lands on the ground. The right sole of my foot is on the ground. And I'm just going to hang on to my left ankle or my left foot so that my foot doesn't move. So it's a fallen figure 4. My right arm is going to extend out to the side. And now I'm getting a little bit more into the outer hip. Okay, so this area of the body, the outside of my right hip, and also probably the outside of my lower back on the right side. Okay, another option, if your foot feels secure here and you don't feel like you need to hang on to it, you can also gently push your right thigh away from you if that feels good. Okay, so just explore this. Okay, so the right side of the lower back, you might feel like lifting up or arching up. I want you to kind of resist against that. And maybe even visualize breathing into that space in your lower back. The lower back on the right side. And with each exhale, maybe you can think about that part of your back releasing toward the ground. Okay, so it's not actually going to move or adjust probably, but it's more of an intention. It's more of just a visual for you. Let's take just about 5 slow breaths here, working through the discomfort, breathing into any areas that are tight or restricted, and exhaling out, creating more space. Great. So uncross your leg before you come out of this, because this can be a little tricky. Sometimes the hips are a little bit cranky after that. And then go ahead and bring your legs back to center after you uncross them. I think it feels good to just extend my legs a little bit here. Okay, if there's something else that feels good to you, go ahead and do that. We have a couple breaths here to come back to neutral. I'm rotating my ankles, it just feels really good. Okay, but again, like I said, come back to neutral in a way that works for you. There's no wrong choices. Okay, feet back to the wall, figure 4 at the wall. Okay, so left ankle is on top of my right thigh. And we're just setting up for figure 4 on the other side with the leg upright here. Okay, so if you want to lean to the right, give yourself that little kickstand with your left elbow wedged next to your left hip, left hand against the left thigh. That's one option. You can also lift the right heel off the wall to increase the stretch. Settle in. Find that sweet spot. And then bring your attention to your breath. So it's breath and sensation. We watch the sensation. So it's not about tuning out, because this isn't a time to think, really. It's about being in the practice. Okay, the focus is we're noticing the sensations that come up, both good and bad. And we're noticing our breath. Notice where your back connects with the ground. Notice if you have the urge to lift your lower back. And if you notice that, see if you can consciously soften your lower back. Let it rest on the ground. 3 more breaths here. Keep your legs in the same shape. Toe heel the right foot towards the right side. Bringing the right foot all the way down to the baseboard. And settle into your fallen figure 4. So you can keep your right hand on your right foot to keep it in place. Or maybe just gently support your left leg, your left knee. Find a place that feels tolerable, a place that feels like you're supported, but you're also working with some sensation. Okay, so for me, that outside line here on the outside of my left hip, it's a really big release. For some of us, maybe it's more in the lower back on the left side. Okay, mine's a little bit more in that. I got a little hip flexor going on, outer hip. See if you can stretch your breath. Really taking some slow, deep breaths. Really paying attention to what it feels like in the body. Can you settle in here for 5 more breaths? And again, gently take the shape out of these legs, just letting the left knee rest on the right for a moment. And now bring the legs back through center. Maybe stretch out the legs one last time here. I'm going to rotate my ankles. And now from here, we're just going to set the heels on the wall. Okay, so you can stay right here. Or if you want to use the wall a little bit more, you may want to scooch a little bit closer. So for me, I need to scooch a little bit closer. So I'm coming back into legs up the wall. Okay, you can stay right here if this feels good. Or you can bring soles of the feet together, knees wide. Okay, some of you might want to open the legs up. Okay, that's an option too. Okay. And my legs kind of beyond the wall here. So you can stay here, or you can do soles of the feet together, knees open, you choose. Okay. And if neither of those are appealing, simply legs up the wall is fine. We're coming towards the end of our class, so we're heading in that direction. And one of the nice things about doing this opening against the wall is that gravity really helps. Okay, so the weight of my thighs is just going to continue to pull my inner thighs apart. It's pulling them towards the ground, and I'm just allowing gravity to do its work here. You know, if that is something that makes it too intense for you, you could wedge some blocks under your thighs or pillows if you wanted it to be more supportive. Okay, again, be creative with what you have at home. Give yourself the support you need. We're going to breathe here just about another minute or so. yourself a little bit of support as you bring the knees back toward one another. Take a moment to bring yourself back to neutral. And then decide how you want to finish your practice from here. Okay, legs back up the wall is a great option. Okay, if you'd rather roll to your side and come into a traditional corpse pose laying on the ground, that's also a great choice. Or maybe you want to come to seated for a little bit of seated meditation. Okay, you decide. Totally up to you. We're going to take just 2 minutes in our final relaxation posture. If you have time, you're welcome to stay longer. But we're coming up on about 35 minutes here. So if you'd like to come out of your resting posture, you can bring yourself back to seated. I always like to finish my practice by bringing my hands together at my heart and folding forward to seal in my practice. Namaste, friends. I hope you're staying well. I hope you're staying safe. I do hope you're staying home and healthy. And I truly wish that I will see you in class soon. All the best.